All right, you're live.
Hi, Mona Heimbach here. I volunteered to do a little video for you guys today with some cooking tips and show you a couple of things. I also have Mona Mia's, so I do take cheesecake orders, muffins, pie orders, and it's that time of year. Even with COVID going on, we can still deliver to your door. But today I decided to share with you some tips and tricks and things that for a lot of you, if you have food issues of any kind, please use fresh herbs and spices if you can. Don't always do the store-bought stuff. I'm not saying don't buy spices in the store, but a lot of them have preservatives. And so I try to cook with as few preservatives as possible. So today we're going to make a special recipe, and my daughter actually shared this with me, so I tried it, and my family loves it. And it's an everything bagel, but you can do other things with them. You can put fruit in them. You can top them with other seasonings. So you can make an Italian bagel. So this one is going to be kind of a mixture. And the first thing we're going to start off with is you have to use Fage yogurt. If you try another brand, it will not work. I tried it and they don't come out the same. So it's low in sugar, which is what you want. So we're going to start off with a cup of Fage yogurt, which I like yogurt anyway. So it is plain. Don't buy the flavored. Okay. And then the next step is 1 cup of flour. So your recipe is 1 cup of flour, and I like to just kind of take it out of the sack in my cup and dump it in. All right, and so then we will mix those 2 items, and it's really sticky. So those that like to play with their food, this is a fun thing for kids to do. So I do this with my grandkids, and so this batch will make 4 to 6 depending on the size of the bagel. If you want full-size bagels, it'll make 4, or it'll make 6 of the smaller mini type bagels. All right, and as we talk here and I get this mixed up and then rolled out on the counter, and everything has been cleaned and sanitized because we're in that mind frame right now of, with COVID, we have to be very careful. So I'm the secretary for the chamber. So we'll tell you a little bit about myself. I work for Sand Creek Printing and Print Market and Unique Signs. I started there in January and I love it. And so this does take a little bit of mixing, but you just get your flour worked in. I'll get the yogurt out of the way here.
Grandma, I'm mixing them again for you.
You're mixing? And I have my youngest grandson here today, so he's helping Deb. He's whipping our eggs. He likes to be in the kitchen with Grandma. And so this is going to be his breakfast for tomorrow morning. All right, I think we are ready. Let me just wash my hand here real quick. But this is where it gets messy. So we just put some flour out on the counter. And I just kind of use a spoon and just put it out there.
Got this.
And you just basically take your dough and dump it on. Okay,
This.
in a minute. Okay, so we're just going to take it and flip it because it is sticky dough. The trick with this is please do not roll it too thin or your bagels, but the flour that you're going to use, that's the other trick. You must use self-rising flour. Do not use bread flour. Don't use multi-purpose flour because for some reason it doesn't do the same as the self-rising. Okay, Jack wants to roll, so we're going to bring him in here for just a second and let him do a little rolling. Come up here. You gotta just roll it out a little bit.
I want to bring this really close.
Okay. Now don't push hard. Okay, there you go. Good job, Jack. Okay, and then we're gonna turn our dough and you're gonna roll it a little bit more. Okay, but you gotta go all the way to the edge. There you go. Good job.
Grandma, can I have one of these?
Can you have one of what?
Those things.
A bagel?
No, one of those things you're wearing.
Oh. You would have to go find one, bud. Okay, so then I just like to kind of make sure that it's kind of shaped into squares. And then you just take
That's a
and
flower.
cut. And we're going to make 6 with this. So we have 2 bigger ones and 4 smaller ones. This is the fun part. You take your dough and you just kind of roll it into a long snake.
Take one.
Just roll it. Okay? So then once you have that done, you're just going to shape it into a bagel. Just like this. And then we're going to place these on a piece of parchment paper. But now this one, I'm going to open it up a little bit because I've got some fresh raspberries here that I just washed, and so we're going to squeeze some raspberry into this one, and then we just roll the dough around it. And then you just kind of pinch it together, and then you just, you can roll it in the air, you can roll it on your counter, okay, and then just turn that around and pinch that shut. Jack's working on his. He's trying to get one going. Just roll it into a long snake. But the trick to this is the yogurt and the self-rising flour. So it's 1 cup of each, equal measures. And then you just kind of pinch that in together, just like that. It doesn't have to be perfect because you're gonna, there's another step that we have to do, which will ensure that it kind of stays together for you.
And this. To this.
So my daughter, I'm not sure where she found this recipe, but because it is a family hit, that's why I'm sharing. I believe it was on Pinterest, is where it was found. But it also is healthier.
I'm making a Pikachu.
You're making a Pikachu ball.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bagel though.
Can I just make one like a Pikachu ball?
Sure.
And you can cook it.
Okay, that's from a 5-year-old. That's what he wants, a Pikachu ball.
And you got white film and red film. Can you put some red on this because it needs red? Because white and red needs film. Like red needs filling for red.
It needs filling for red? You mean like raspberries in it?
No, it's red.
Oh.
It has to be red, not inside.
You want to dye it?
I want it to make like a color. The down piece is white and the up piece is red.
Okay.
You don't want to
So,
cover it to
can I have it?
all red. You don't want to cover it to all red.
Oh, this should be interesting.
Make a Pikachu ball.
Make a Pikachu ball.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're done with this, and then I'm going to show you the last step to this, which is you are going to brush it with a whipped egg, which I have whipped with my little mini whipper that I have. And then I just take my little brush, and you want to make sure that you really brush it good with the egg. You want to get the sides, you want to get the inside. You might have to pinch it back together a little bit as you're doing your egg. But this is a fun recipe for kids to make. It's easy.
Grandma, I gotta find the red filling. I gotta get red filling.
Okay, you go find that.
Where, Grandma, can you tell me where's it at? Why?
Can I finish this first?
Sure.
So, mark this down, 350 degrees. You're going to bake these for 25 minutes. They should come out super golden brown. And then you just smear them with, just do a smear of cream cheese.
Oh my God.
And then that's it. It's a healthier bagel. It's got the yogurt in it. For those that can't have dairy, I apologize. It does have dairy. Okay, and then we're going.
We need something not flat to make it flat on the bottom. Has to stay like a ball.
So we are making other than the one I stuffed with raspberries, we're going to do this one as an everything bagel. So it has garlic, it has onion, and I just like to sprinkle it on. This is Cass's favorite, so we're just going to pop those in the oven.
This guy's growing big. This guy's growing big.
And those will bake for 25 minutes.
My guy's getting
You can
big.
top them with cinnamon and sugar. You can top them with a lot of different things.
My guy's growing.
Let me wash my hands here.
Okay, Mom.
Lots of flour on my hands. Then I'm going to show you a couple of quick tips for herbs and zesting and
Grandma,
making
we
some
need
different
something not
things.
flat. We need something not flat.
I better clean up my mess though because I got flour everywhere. So when I bake and cook, I always keep a sink full of hot soapy water for cleanup. Because you want to make sure you're cleaning up your mess when you're done. And anytime you're messing with flour, it kind of takes a little bit.
Mona, if somebody wanted to have a gluten-free bagel, how would they make it?
Well, you would have to use a gluten-free flour. They may not raise as well as others because the self-rising flour does make it raise, but it can be done. There's other ways. So say you can't have dairy. This one in particular comes with yogurt, so I've never tried them without the yogurt, but I'm sure there's ways. But if you like these and you like the yogurt but you want a gluten-free, just change up to a gluten-free flour. Try to find a rising flour. And then what I would do instead of, if you don't want to use the eggish or egg wash to brown them, you can always take and brush like olive oil or something like that. I wouldn't use margarine, but you could use butter or you could use olive oil, and it'll help adhere the topping to it just as well. Okay, so I've got some fresh thyme here too, and I've got some fresh rosemary. I like to cook with both of these. I also cook with fresh basil, green onion, shallots. Shallots are milder, so if you're not a fan of onions, shallots are awesome. Shallots is probably one of my all-time favorites as far as cooking with an onion, but not really an onion. Shallots I like, they're just much milder. So this is how they look. And when you open them up, of course, you've got two nice pieces. And you peel it just like you would a regular onion. And I just take my cutting board.
Gotta get this so it's not sticky.
And I just cut the ends off.
Now I gotta wash my hands.
Now you gotta wash your hands because you were cooking. And with shallots, I mean, you can put them in whole. I wouldn't do that unless I was doing a roast. I do use shallots in a roast beef. So once you get it all peeled, you know, I like to cut mine the long way. And then you just break them up, and they're just, because of how it is, it just cuts into smaller little pieces, so it's not going to ever cut like a regular onion, as far, because it's got such a small middle. What do you think of the smell, Deb?
I love it.
It's not as strong as a red onion or a yellow onion or white. White are really potent onions.
Anyone who's watching, do you have any questions for Mona while she's cooking? Any questions she might be able to answer about baking or making bagels?
I'm gonna get this.
Feel free to type your questions.
Get one out for you.
So one thing about fresh rosemary, you can throw it in just like this into your roast, into a lamb roast. It's really amazing with lamb. I've also used it on chicken. So you can just pull one sprig off. You can stuff a chicken with rosemary and make rosemary chicken. I like to use fresh rosemary and lemon. Things that you can do with a lemon. Let's just cut the ends off here. Okay, and I have two different tools that I like to use. This one here is a zester, but it's a different shape of a zester. This is my Pampered Chef zester that I've had for years. And it kind of just peels and makes little curlicues. So if you want a lot of lemon in, you would do this. And you just peel it back and it comes right off. The other way is a regular zester, and you just rub your lemon against this, and it just takes the height of your lemon off. And this is great in, if you do steep teas, you can put it in your tea thing. You can use this on top of a pie, on top of muffins. And because it's so fine and granulated, you can mix that into your cakes, your muffins, anything like that. I use fresh lemons to make my pies. And so I squeeze a lot of lemons to make one lemon meringue pie.
Mona, we have a question from one of our audience today.
Yes.
They're asking if you're with Pampered Chef.
I used to be years ago. I couldn't find my other aprons today. This is the only one I could find. I think my husband hid all my aprons. Don't tell him I said that. So I used to be with Pampered Chef. There is a couple of gals here in town that do Pampered Chef. But I have tools. I still buy Pampered Chef. Their tools, to me, are amazing. And if you want the name of the gal that does Pampered Chef, I'm sure we can find that out for you. Okay, the other herb I have is fresh thyme. Thyme's another one of those herbs. You can pull it off, put the whole sprig in, and you can just see the little buds on it. And you can put that in a chicken. You can put that in a sauce. But if you're going to put it in a sauce, you simply take it, and I like to take the sprig and I pull backwards. And it just helps it fall off that easier. If you pull the other way, the main way, it'll take it completely off. So you just pull your buds off. You can mix that into a sauce. You can use it as an herb to rub on with a basting compound using butter and lemon or anything. So chicken, beef, pork, lamb, all of it. It works fantastic. So I never like to waste the lemons, so lemon can be squeezed into your water. You can put it in your water, the whole lemon, and it's just a fun way to add a little spice and variety to everything you do. Another trick I'm going to show you is if you want to make your own potato chips and you want a little bit healthier version of a potato chip, I'm going to show you that. So what I like to do is I like to take just a simple tortilla. take your pizza cutter and you just cut it into strips. So you can make your own tortilla chips. And they're big ones, so keep that in mind. Again, 350 oven, and it usually takes about 10 to 12 minutes. And what you do with these, you just take them and you put them in your bowl, put some olive oil in there, mix it all up, then add your seasoning. So you can make your own garlic chips for dipping. And it's just, they're just kind of fun, different way of making a potato chip without a lot of salt.
Technically a tortilla chip, right?
It's a tortilla chip, technically, not a potato chip. It's a tortilla chip. Okay.
And do you have a preference of using flour versus the corn tortillas?
I like both. The corn will cook a little faster, so I just mix my olive oil in, just drizzle some olive oil.
About how much was that drizzle?
About
Tablespoon?
a tablespoon. About a tablespoon. And then what I have to use today for a spice is a spice that I found in one of my travels when I was doing outside sales all over the place. And this one basically has, it has a little bit of this and a little bit of that. It's called Magic Mills Spirit Blend. And this has savory, oregano, marjoram, onion, parsley, chives, fennel, sea salt, and it just goes in really fine. If you want to take a look at that, it's just a really fine spice, and you just keep this over. And again, we're going to put this on parchment paper on a baking pan. And you just lay them out.
What kind of flavor will that spice have? I know you listed off everything, so it is just kind of...
It is
is it
just,
spicy or is it just savory?
It's savory. It's very savory. It's not spicy at all. And again, I'm going to pop this in the oven while you guys are waiting there.
And what's the heat on that for those tortillas?
The tortillas is also 350. And when I'm cooking, my kitchen does get messy.
Hey, Grandma.
So,
Grandma.
I heard you. The little one is talking to me again. I don't know what he needs this time. So I encourage people to try different flavors, try different fun things. But Mona Mia's specialties are Divine Delights. So I do cheesecakes, I do pies, I do muffins, I do bars, I do cookies, cakes, anything you want. And I've got a Facebook page. You can go on there if you need. Cheesecake is great for birthdays. So my last tip when it comes to baking, no matter what you do, especially with eggs, eggs should always be used at room temperature. So you need to take your eggs out and let them sit 15-20 minutes based on what you're doing.
And why is that?
Eggs will fluff up more, and it just helps with the, if you use a cold egg, it just doesn't mix as well, and it'll cause separation and different things. And but it's fun. Eggs are a great thing to do. We like hard-boiled eggs here. I do my hard-boiled eggs with water, 1 cup of white vinegar, and a teaspoon of salt when I'm boiling them for the 8 minutes, simply because it helps with the peeling. And if you are using farm eggs tend to stick more, and you just want to be really careful, so use vinegar and salt. That's my trick. If you do have questions, you can send messages. Deb will get them to me, and I'd be more than happy to answer back. And I hope you're having a happy Friday. Be safe out there, and again, have a great day.